All right, and we're back. So yeah, that was kind of just a taste of what we had in store for Vegas. It was a really fun show, and now we're here halfway through the day in London, and it's crazy, but people are having a great time. But that's enough about me talking, and let me once again introduce our panelists. We have the Assistant Director of Final Fantasy XIV, Mr. Hiroshi Takai. Welcome.
Yeah. ファイナルファンタジー14でアシスタントディレクターを担当しています、高井宏です。よろしくお願いします。
Thank you. My name is Hiroshi Takai, and I am the Assistant Director on Final Fantasy XIV.
And of course, to his right is Michael Christopher Koji Fox. We just call him Koji Fox because we all run out of breath saying it halfway through the day.
Koji Fox is fine.
He's here from the localization team, and he also does a lot of the lore for the game as well.
Yep.
But he'll be interpreting today for Mr. Takai. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start jumping into our questions. I think I'll start off with a first one.
All right.
This is from our European English community. Will you please consider a better, less stringent lockout for endgame content in the future?
もうすでにある程度コメントが出ている質問ではあるんですけど、自分もちょうどこのロンドンに来る前に4層クリアしたばかりなんですけど、確かに友達を助けに行ったりとかしたい気持ちはすごい分かります。なので緩和に関してはもう検討を始めてるっていうコメントがすでに出ていますし、ちょうど、自分が飛行機に乗る前に、この辺りの使用確認のメールがもう飛び交っていました。
Okay. So we talked about this back in Las Vegas. This comment came up, and we commented and talked about how, again, we know that there's a lot of people out there that, want these restrictions eased up because, again, they want to go out and they want to help their friends. It's not because they want more items. It's because they want to be able to help their friends.
Right.
Help their free company members. And that's something that, we definitely agree with. And we want to make sure that we have a system in place. And so just before I got on the plane to come here, I was, getting mails from other dev team members about this issue specifically, and we're working currently on the way that we're going to implement it.
Nice. I'm sure people are very glad to hear that. Well, thank you very much. All right, let's jump on to our next about a name change system. So players have been asking for a name change system for quite a while now, and then we have Fantasia, we have the ability to change your race and things, but how about a name change system?
もうこれは、担当直入にもう近い将来実現すると思います。
All right, there's no need to hold back. We're telling you that yes, we have that system ready, and it's going to be implemented in the game very soon.
Oh, nice. Very soon. That's good news. I know a lot of people have been bugging us on the forum saying, tell the dev team we want name changes. That's great to hear.
Something, we're working on it. It's almost ready.
Nice. That's awesome news. All right, let's jump over to... I'm sure many fans would like for you to consider adding the Hildebrand pose to other races. Would this ever be a possibility? How about an emote that plays his theme?
もう終わり。
みんながこのポーズすごい好きっていうのは全然分かってるんで、他の種族っていうのも検討はしたいなとは当然思います。ただテーマ曲を絡んだエモートっていうのは僕の方だとちょっと仕様分かってないんでここは約束できないですけど、ヒルディブランドのポーズはちょっと日本に持って帰りたいかなと思ってます。
This is something we know how much fans really love Hildebrand. All around the world, he has his fans, and it would be great to have something that other races could do that pose and the dance as well. And so, this is definitely something I want to take back. As for whether the music would be able to play, that's one of those system things that I don't currently know about, so I don't know if it's possible or not. So I can't promise anything here, but it's definitely something we can take back, offer to the team, see if we can get it done. So great idea.
Nice. Yeah, I know our Hildebrand fans are very, very huge fans of Hildebrand, and they'll take anything they can get. Okay, let's go ahead and jump on over. So here's a question. Will beast tribes without primals, such as Kakirin, goblins, Spriggans, things like that, play a bigger part in the storyline in the future?
世界観の話ではあるんですけど、確かに万神に関してゴブリンなんかは ゲーム中語ってないですけど、ただ崇めてる番士がいないとも我々は言っていないので、まあこの先ヘブンズワード、どうなるのかな。まああんまり言うと本当に吉田に怒られちゃいますから楽しみって感じですかね。
Well, I mean, just because for example, the goblins, just because in game they haven't mentioned a primal doesn't mean that they don't have their own primal. It's just one of those things we don't know and we can't say anything.
Right.
Maybe we'll learn more in Heaven's Word, but I can't say any more because Yoshida will probably kill me.
I think we're okay as long as Yoshida is not here.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, 3 times you
ears.
said something and he just appears behind you. It's like if you say his name, he'll be there. So don't worry, we didn't say anything. It's
だからちょっとシッ
yeah. Okay.
We'll learn more in Heaven's Word.
Okay, good. That's
We'll leave
good.
it at that.
Okay, I'm very excited to hear that. I'm sure a lot of our lore fans are very excited to hear that too.
Great.
All right, here we go. How did the warrior from the trailer, from the 2.0 trailer, get his axe back as seen in the new Heavensward trailer after dropping it at the Cartano Flats?
これでも多くの冒険者の皆さんも同じだと思うんですけど、多分いろんな町に遺失物紛失管理人でしたっけがいると思うんで、そこでちゃんともらったんじゃないですかね。
I mean, our hero there that you see in the trailers has been around since 1.0. I mean, he's just a regular adventurer.
Yep.
So he probably, like all other adventurers, had to go to one of the towns, talk to the Calamity Salvager, and, that's where he got his axe back.
Nice.
Just like the rest of us.
Yep. So just in case you don't know, if you ever lose your weapons, including your relic weapons, all you need to do is talk to the Calamity Salvager, and you'll be good to go. I like that question because it's a perfect question for Takai, who always is shown playing a warrior.
Warrior?
Well,
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 1?
ナンバーワンじゃない。
Not number one.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump over to a few questions from our French community. These are from the French forums. So thank you guys for your questions. Will the graphics of the Nexus weapon change at some point? It's only appearing to get shinier at the moment.
Okay.
ネクサスはだいぶ光り輝いてますけど、もうあれ以上こう光り輝くようなエフェクトをつけるつもりはないです。
Yeah, the Nexus is awfully shiny, and we don't know if we're going to even be able to add even more shininess to the shininess that is the Nexus. So.
ということは、VFX で差別化を図るのはそろそろ限界と思っているので、次あたりゾディアックウェポンが進むとどうかな。
So yeah, I mean, if we can't do any more with the shininess, that only leaves actual graphic changes. And so maybe about the next step in the Zodiac weapon system is about time to
start seeing some new graphics, huh?
New graphics.
Nice. I'm sure people will be very happy to know that they don't have to buy sunglasses and wear sunglasses so they can see their character.
そうですよね。こう光りすぎてもうこれでサングラスを買わないと眩しい。
学者が読めないって言ってる人がいて、それは爆笑してしまいました。
Yeah, I mean, with the codexes.
Yeah.
I mean, codices. I mean, it's shining so bright that you can't even read.
You can't
the
even
words.
read the text.
My geometry.
How are you even
is
casting anything? Perfect. So that's good news. I mean, we're looking forward to seeing the next step.
Yep.
Here's another one for you. When ARR came out, you said you didn't want to have long hair because of clipping issues. But we implemented the hug emote, which seems like we started to loosen up and change things. So have we changed our mind about introducing longer hair too?
確かにこう軽はずみにやると言ってしまうと期待されてしまうので、なかなか難しいなと思うことは、まずはしないよと言ってしまうようなことがあるんですけど、こういろいろブラッシュアップしたり、コストが出たりっていうタイミングを見ながらハグのエモートはなんとか実装することができましたから、コツコツやっていくという意味では以前やっていないというものがこれからこう新たに実装されるってことは全然考えられますから、ゆっくり待っていただけるんだったら全然可能性がないよっていうことは言わないです。
So yes, I mean, Yoshida-san mentioned it. in the last Q&A is that one thing with Final Fantasy 14 is that it's all about trying new things, things that we maybe weren't able to do at the beginning of the game. We learn more ourselves, and we learn and we get better, and we're able to use the engine and our abilities to get better, and so we're able to try new things. There's still you still have how much of the resources is it going to take to do this, and brushing it up and making sure things look nice in the game as well. I mean, things take time, and there's also other tasks we have to do. But we like to take small steps and get towards there. And that's why, again, now we're taking the first small step was getting that huggy mode in there. Yep. Now that we have that in there, and we've seen how it works and what we can do to improve on it, we can start extending hair. I mean, you've already seen, hairstyles. We have some that are a little bit longer.
Especially, I think in 2.4, they showed some new hairstyles.
And so it's going to be small steps, but it's definitely something, that we're going to continue to implement. And, we're going to continue listening to the community and see what they want. And so while you still might have to wait a little bit, we're getting there.
Yeah. It's definitely something that's being thought about and considered.
It's not something that we can't do or that we're going to ignore.
Right. It's no longer just, it's really tough. So that's really good news. I'm sure we've had a lot of comments in the forum for long hair for a while now, so I'm sure they'll be really happy to hear that. Okay, this is
what
I
wanted to ask, though, is that not just long hair.
Right.
This came up from another player. Longer beards.
Oh, yeah.
Not just hair.
Yeah.
A lot of guys want longer beards. All of the beards and
They're really
goatees are like all fashionable, like Italian man. He's got
very,
his snazzy goatees or whatever, and the stubble. What about those hardcore
big, lumberjack
ZZ Top
beards?
lumberjack? やっぱ長い髪の毛はあるんですけど、長いひげは考えてますか？やっぱ男のユーザーってすごい長いひげ欲しいっていう人は結構いるんですよ。
そこは正直盲点というか考えてなかったですね。ちょっと相談してみます。
That's just one of the things that it never really came up in Japan. Wow. A lot of people have beards in Japan. So, but that's one thing that it's definitely something that our community has been asking for. So it's definitely something we want to take back.
Yeah, there's been petitions for beards for quite a while.
かなり海外のフォーラムで欲しいって署名運動が動いてる。
People drawing, I want this,
なるほど。ひげ日本人はあんまりね関心がないからね。
Yeah, that's just one thing that again Japanese users they're not really into, but it is something that our European and our Western users, Americans are into, and so it would be something it's definitely worth thinking of and getting this. Maybe some braided beards.
I'm sure that's going to be like the top hit on the forum this weekend now. It's
beards.
Like, there's something about beards. Finally.
You promised beards.
Gotta be careful using the promise word. Awesome. All right, this is kind of a, more of a personal get to know Takai-san kind of question. How much time do you spend playing FF14 outside of the office?
結構やってますよ。寝てる時間とご飯を食べてる時間以外はほとんどやってると言っていいぐらいやりますけどね。
I actually play quite a lot when I'm not eating or sleeping or working.
Working.
I'm playing Final Fantasy 14.
Nice. I think that's the same for a lot of our hardcore players at the office too.
ユーザーと一緒ですね。
まあそれぐらい時間かけないとなかなかバハムートとか行けないんですよ。
I want to be able to complete the coils as well. You have to play that much to be able to get to that end content.
Yep, you have to put in a lot of hours to be able to get to that high level, but it's worth it, right? All right, so let's see. Another good Hildebrand question. As I told you, people love Hildebrand. Would you consider having Hildebrand making a guest appearance in the main scenario, or NPCs from the main scenario making an appearance in the Hildebrand quests?
まあヒルディはキャラが立ってるんでこの気持ちはすごいわかります。
I understand that a lot of people love Hildebrand and they want to see more of him.
ただ、メインクエストって結構シビアだったりの話をしてますからそこに逆にヒルディを出そうとするとヒルディが今やれてるような面白かったりめちゃくちゃだったりっていうようなことは逆にできなくなっちゃうと思うんですね。
But then again, the main story is usually, it's at the core of the Final Fantasy story, and so it's very, very deep and it's very, very serious. And so if you put Hildebrand in a position like that, Hildebrand wouldn't get to be Hildebrand. I mean, Alphinaud would be like, "Shut up, I'm talking."
It's really important. Be quiet. Sit down.
And so Hildebrand couldn't be Hildebrand if he was in the main scenario.
なので今の愛されるヒルディのイメージを崩さないっていうことを考えると、やっぱりメインクエスト側にヒルディを登場させるっていうのは今のところは考えないっていう感じですかね。
So and you just don't want to destroy that image of Hildebrand as being that comedic type of character. We don't want to put him in a situation where he has to be serious because that's not what we think the players want to see.
Would it even be Hildebrand anymore,
right?
Yeah,
he would not be Hildebrand anymore. でもそれ一方、例えばメインシナリオのキャラクターが
重要なキャラクターがヒルディに出るっていうのは、でもそこはシナリオ班と話してみないと何とも言えないですけどね。
And then as for having maybe main scenario characters appear in some of the Hildebrand quests, I mean that's not something that we would want to rule out, but it's something that again the scenario team and our writing team would have to decide on.
Yeah.
But I mean that might be a little bit easier.
It's probably a little bit less, odd or kind of story breaking than the other way around.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
メインシナリオ担当の前広とは、同じパーティーでバハムートに通ってるんで、今度エオルゼアの中で相談しておきます。
I currently am on the same server with our main scenario writer, Mr. Maihiro, and I have a date with him in the coil. So when I go in Erozia, we're going to be chatting it up and talking about maybe implementing main scenario characters in a Hildebrand quest.
Nice. That'd be awesome. Look, I will pay you to put Minfilia in more stuff, so just know that.
Minfilia 大好きなので、それ多くのクエストに登場させてもらいたい。
I think they could meet,
Hildebrand,
be friends.
Minfilia. 何か。
約束はできないけどね。
I can't promise you anything, so.
All right, we'll talk later. We'll see.
後で話します。
Okay. バックヤード行こう。
Okay. All right, let's see. Let's jump over to some questions from our German community. We also gather these in the forum, so thank you guys very much. Let's see. Oh, let's talk a little bit about this again. What is the status of servers or data center located in Europe?
そうですね。サーバー。
データサーバーの話、
データセンター
の話、これはもう基調講演でね、キーノートで吉田直樹から発表されたように、計画がまず始まりました。
Yeah, so for those of you who didn't get to watch may not have seen the keynote, this is a very big announcement. We talked about how we are currently in the planning stages for an EU data center.
発表があった時ね、会場が湧いたのを見てよかったなと思いましたけど。
Yeah, seeing how our European fans who were actually in the room reacted, it was
the reaction.
Spine tingling.
We were backstage, and you could feel like the walls kind of reverberating from their shouts. But yeah, I'm sure that they're really looking forward to, us continuing to look into the plans. We're starting to talk to different companies and try to figure out
the infrastructure,
where we want to put it.
schedules.
So we're not there yet, but it's definitely something that they're working on.
The planning has begun. Planning is underway. So we're moving.
Yeah, that's the first step, right?
Yes.
Of course. All right, let's see. Will there be a hard mode for the Crystal Tower?
これも以前コメントが出ていることに近いかなと思いますけど、ただ、もちろん以前吉田から言ったようなこともそうだし、できないわけではないですが、実際みんなやってくれますかね。
I mean, this is one of the things. It was also mentioned in Las Vegas, and Yoshida-san also mentioned how maybe I think it was in an interview mentioned about how maybe something like how you have a three-party alliance currently, maybe doing something where you keep the difficulty level the same but make it a two-party alliance challenging the same content, something like that. But again, it's one thing that we're kind of on the fence about. I mean, would a lot of players really want a hard mode of the Crystal Tower? Again, it being a 24-man raid, getting 24 people together that are all hardcore.
Yeah, that can actually tackle it and win.
僕自身、どっぷりハードプレイヤーをやってますんで分かるんですけど、あと 多分適切な報酬がないと皆さんなかなか足を運んでくれないんじゃないかなっていう懸念もあって、なかなかひょいひょいこうやりますっていうコメントにはならない感じですかね。
I mean, I'm a hardcore player myself, and I mean, I really love that hard type of content. But then again, you know, it's how many people out there would want it, and then once it's complete, what you're going to need a proper reward for something like that. And so, I mean, how is that going to affect game balance and things like that? And so, it's something that again, we need to think about it a lot before jumping into it. And it's not something we can do that easily because it would affect a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but in Las Vegas, when they talked about how they balance things, you could kind of imagine how difficult it would be to balance that kind of huge content to be
あんなでっ
difficult.
かいコンテンツで24人のレールでまたコンテンツのバランスをその大変、バトルチームが大変じゃないかっていう。
まず24人集めることが大変。
The first thing to do is to get 24 people in-house that can test that, that are good enough to be able to test that is going to be, one of the biggest hurdles.
ただ裏の話をしちゃうと、実はこうテストを始める段階のクリスタルタワーとかは公開されてるのよりはるかに難易度は高いですね、いつも。
But I mean, what actually happened when first designing the Crystal Tower was that it was far more difficult than it is right now. So.
Yeah.
なのでいつも実は簡単にしてリリースしてるんですよね。
So yeah, a lot of times we create something very crazy and trim it down
Try to
before,
scale it back
so
before it's
more players,
released.
especially with the Crystal Tower, which is supposed to be about having fun with a lot of people.
More of an open kind of get together with people and have fun versus the super strict difficulty of coil.
Yeah, you have your role. You must do this.
Yeah.
You must do this. Everyone must do it perfectly to be able to get through. That's what the coil is for.
Right. Cool. All right, let's see what else. Okay, this is a good one. Can you make it so that we can either place our caught fish in a pond or that we get ponds and fish tanks that have fish in them by default?
Oh. Yeah. 釣った魚をガーデンポンド、自分のそのガーデンにある池に自分が釣った魚をそこに放してとか、フィッシュボールと。
今のところはまだそういうのは作ってないな。
That's one thing that we haven't made anything like that. But でもいい考えだと思いませんか？
フィッシャーマンの気持ちを考えるところは絶対やりたいのはもう分かるんだ
I
け
mean,
ど。
if you think of the fishers were going to want to do this. So this is you can understand why and where this comment came
た
from.
だ魚の種類も多いからねこのゲーム。
But there's so many fish. That's a lot of data.
True. I know whenever Yoshida mentions data, he starts to sweat a little bit.
Data.
ちょっと気長に待ってもらうしかないかなこういうのは。
Yeah, probably have to wait a little
Let's
bit
talk
on
to
this one.
We'll tell Yoshida about
Yeah,
it.
let's
At least let him know.
Yoshida-san.
We'll make Yoshida say no if we have to, and then
Yeah.
he'll be the bad guy.
All right.
Okay, here's one that people have been asking for, and we kind of talked about. When will you implement a card game?
Oh,
カードゲーム。これはでもまあ 2.5 だと間に合わないけどその次ぐらいにはもういけるんじゃないかなっていう進捗ですかね今のところ。
Yeah. I mean, Yoshida-san did kind of mention something at Las Vegas.
Say some words.
He did say some words. Started
Two
with
words,
T's.
yeah.
Started with T's. And but yeah, we're currently working on an in-game card game, and we hope to have it out sometime after 2.5. More? No. No.
2.5、いくつかな。
2.5.
2.5. There you go.
All right.
See, that's perfect.
で
Then
も
they
そん
can.
なに遠くないよ。
It's not that far off.
Nice,
Not that
yeah.
far off at all.
Yeah, I mean 2.4 is already in a
Next
few days,
week.
so I'm.
Right?
Gosh, time is. Oh yeah, next
Next
week.
week,
Time
next
is
week.
flying, and then 2.5.
That's right. It's right around the door.
Gosh. All right, here we go. Final one.
Oh.
Will you implement a gun-wielding class?
おお。これ今日 T ノートでなんか変な T シャツ着てたねあの人。
Yeah, I mean, the director, Yoshi-P, he took off that Dark Knight shirt, and there was something underneath.
Yep.
Yeah.
まああれから考えるに
I mean, yeah, he kept doing his.
He kept making
Making the
motions.
motions and the.
すごい具体的には言いたいけど、言ったら多分大変なことになるから。
Yeah, you can't. You want to say more, but if you say any more.
I think that we would be immediately fired and pulled off the stream. So we'll just
A T-shirt.
We'll just say,
Focus on
hey,
the
remember
T-shirt.
Yoshida's T-shirt.
Speculate. Let the
And let the
speculation begin.
players make tons of forum threads and have fun.
That's right. That's right.
こんなことやってたんで。
Yeah.
ね。だからもう東京まで待って。
Tokyo. Wait until Tokyo Fan Festival.
Fan Festival Tokyo.
Fan Festival
December
in Tokyo.
20th?
20th and 21st?
Yep.
Saturday and Sunday?
Man, that's already coming up.
I know.
It's already almost November.
Less than 2 months.
Yeah.
Less than 2 months.
Oh man, we gotta get a lot of sleep before then for all the crazy announcements. Okay, I think that about wraps it up for our Q&A.
All right.
I want to thank everybody for submitting a ton of Q&A for us.
Yeah, and keep submitting questions on the forums.
Yeah.
You know, we'll come on.
We'll
Devs
keep-
are looking at the forums all the time.
Yeah, maybe
we
part of
answer when
our
we can.
job is to gather questions in the forums for things like live letters, not even just for live letters only, but also for, Q&A that the devs can answer on a daily basis, a weekly basis, things that are getting hot in the community. That's when we like to pick it up. But yeah, I just wanted to ask you guys a few questions just about how you're feeling at Fan Festival now that we've gotten the hard Q&A out of the way. I just want to see, this is, I think, Takai's first time in London. If I
高橋さん、今回ロンドン初めてなんですか？
ロンドン実は2回。
Oh, wow.
あ、ロンドン。いや2回目のはず。
It's your second time in London.
But this is probably your first fan festival because you missed the Las Vegas one.
でもファンフェスは今回初めて。
あ、もちろんもちろん。
ラスベガス行ってなくて。
ラスベガスは行ってないです。うん。
So this
So
is your
how
first.
so how is the fan
どう
festival
ですか？初めて
so
のファンフェ
far?
ス。
いやーなんかいいですね。とてもいい空気だと思います。
I mean, I love this place, the setting and just the feeling of the whole place and the
Yeah.
feeling of the fans. It's just
あと
It's
実
wonderful.
際会場歩いてない人には分かりづらいかもしれないんですけど、これがまたすごいいい会場ですね。
And then, yeah, maybe you might not be able to tell just by watching the videos here, but this venue is awesome. It's just
Yeah.
the bricks, the
It
stuff we
fits.
have.
It feels
fits.
like you're visiting Eorzea,
そう
you
ですね
know.
エオルゼっぽいですよね。
よくまあここまでっていう。
Yeah, it really does feel like something that's in game. Very
Yeah.
surreal.
And I'm sure the energy from the fans has really been, we had some late nights leading up to this, preparing and getting ready. But the day of we're here, I'm sure the energy from the fans is
まあ
keeping
やっぱ
you.
ここまで来るのが結構準備で大変で時差ボケとかもあってハーンとなんだけど今日来てやっぱファンからのエネルギーをもらってで元気になりました。
あ、そういえば時差ボケ治った。
あ Your jet lag is gone.
Oh.
You received the power from the fans.
Cured
and
instantly.
until yesterday, you're like,
Yep. Sleeping all the time in the green room. I saw it. It's okay.
that's right. This is
But
the
now,
power of the fans.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to? I know you've been busy. We had, we just had our previous panel. You have another panel coming up at 4 p.m. But have you had a chance to walk around and do some signings or some
会
taking
場を回ったり
pictures?
サインしたりとか写真撮ったりとかしてます？まあ結構パネルで忙しいと思うんですけど。
サインは昨日の夜すごい前夜祭でしました。
Yeah, last night we had the VIP signing session, and that was a lot of
Yeah,
signing.
I think that was almost 4 hours
あと
almost.
会場はちょうどキーノートの後しばらく時間があったので一通りは回らせてもらいました。
Yeah, and after the keynote, I was able to go around and walk around and talk to the fans and sign some things and take a few pictures.
こうどのアトラクションにもみんな行列ができるぐらいこう楽しみに頼んでくれててこう嬉しいですね。
There's a lot of different attractions, a lot of things to see and do here, and each one had a long line of people waiting, and everyone looked like they're having a lot of fun.
Yep. I have to ask. Speaking of attractions, have you gone down to the Behemoth and tried to ride the Behemoth yet?
自身でベヘモスのロデオやってます？
あれなんか後でやれってアシスタントプロデューサーにやれって言われて。
The assistant producer has already told me that I have to go down there and do it later. So maybe after the next panel, I'll be down there riding.
I think it's smart that they wait till after your panel is done, just in case,
そうで
it's
すね。パネルが全部終わってからやるってことで、万が一 怪我した場合 break my neck and
It'll
sprawl
be
out
all
on
right.
the
It's
ground.
okay. You're the dev team. We'll make sure that we put extra padding.
じゃあクッションをいっぱいつけるから大丈夫です
People want you to keep creating content, so don't
そう
worry.
やね
Maybe they'll put it like on easy mode and it'll.
イージーモードで
イージーかな、なんかすごい激しくこう動かしてたけど。
Oh yeah, but the guy down there, he kept twisting the dial
Yeah,
and
it's
making it
interesting.
move. So.
He's a pretty hardcore operator down there, and I like they also make it roar. Behemoth roars whenever someone gets knocked off.
大竹も最後に落ちた時にゴーン
あいつ人落としたら叫ぶんだよね。
So we also have some people that are challenging it for trying to get the longest time to stay on. So let's see if Takai
や
can
っぱり
go
一
for the
番最後
longest.
長く乗れた人は商品をもらえるので、それでもう世界一位を取れるかどうか注目ですね。
頑張ってみます。
I'll do my best.
Okay. And so before we go, I just wanted to see Koji.
Yeah.
This is your second fan festival in 2 weeks, I guess. How's it been for you?
It's been, I mean, it's a whirlwind. Going from Japan
Yeah.
to LA and then getting on another plane, going to Las Vegas, going into Las Vegas, working with the band. We had band rehearsal, then we had rehearsals for the stages. Yoshida-san and all of the people, they get to be on one stage or two stages. I'm on up there. I'm just like you. I
Yeah.
mean, we're up there all
Yeah.
whole time. And then having to sing, Moogle,
Yep.
Good King Moggle
Yep.
Mog, and Titan and Shout.
And all the rehearsals too.
And all the
before
rehearsals before that. And then when it's done, not even any time to, slip a dollar bill and, win $1 million.
Yep.
Right back on the plane to New York, half a day in New York to wash my clothes, and then on a plane to London, and then here again, just rinse, repeat, sing some more Titan. My voice.
Yeah.
This has not happened to me
It's gotten
before.
a lot better since this morning. I think
This morning, the keynote was kind of. I
you're
apologize
fine.
for that. I
That
mean,
was like a special edition kind of, voice filter that you had. Let's just say it that way.
They bought me a bottle of honey, and I've just been
chugging
chugging the
Yeah.
honey. I have probably taken in about 7,000 calories in the past, 2
man.
hours.
It's
あれが
worth
良く
it.
ないんじゃないの？
It's okay. You have to make sure you fit your costume later.
Yeah, but no, this has been great. The fans in both America and Europe, everyone
Yeah.
has been, great, and they come up and they know me by name. And they're
Yep.
like, yeah, Koji, tell me about lore, give
Yep.
me secrets, and I'm like, oh, okay. Is anyone listening? Okay, I'm gonna tell you some secrets.
Tell you the real stuff.
This is real stuff, and
Not the approved stuff.
But this is awesome. I love it. I can't wait to do it again next year. Cross my fingers. Hopefully we have this next year, because I would love to come back and
Let's,
do it again and meet
let-
as many fans as possible.
Let's let the community teams take, a week to sleep, and then
Yeah.
we'll start thinking about what we do for the next time.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, it's really cool because here and in Las Vegas, the second you guys step out of the rooms, it's like you're rock stars. People are swarming you and taking pictures, and
And then I go back to work, and I'm just
you go back to Japan. You're in your cubicle. and you're like, yeah.
But it's exciting, and I love it. And
I think you guys have
the
a new
fans are
understanding
awesome.
too, because you actually had a chance to see the fans and meet the fans and know, face to face
Yeah.
who's playing and enjoying the game, which is
That's
really
right.
cool.
やっぱファン最高ですね。
あったかい。
Everyone is so nice and,
Yeah.
and so generous and with their words, and it's overwhelming.
But yeah, I think that about wraps it up for us. I think we're ready to turn the show back over to our main host, and we want to thank you guys for having us on and for having a chance to do some more Q&A. I know Takai was raring to answer questions, so I was glad we had a chance to sit down and talk with him. So guys, stay tuned. I know on the main stage at 4 p.m., Takai and Yoshida will be up there talking about trailers, which I think I've heard Takai knows a lot about trailers.
Yeah, Mr. Trailer.
So Mr. Warrior, Mr. Trailer, Trailer Warrior. How about that? Trailer Warrior. That's good.
頑張ります
So stay tuned for that, and we'll be back later. So thanks, guys.
All right. See you on stage.